No, not yet. Still waiting. Okay, I'm still setting up. Still setting up here. Oh, Victor, how are you? You're the first. Welcome. Welcome. We just started. I can say hi. It says to say hi to Victor, and I did. Even if Victor's no longer here. Okay, now we press that button. The all critical button, because if I make a mistake on that button, the whole thing goes away. Okay, let's finish setting up. We got to finish setting up because setting up is good. It's good to be set up. All right, one more button to click, and then we just have to line the windows up. All right, let's get that out of the way. Let's do that. Now we just got to line up the windows. The windows are almost aligned. The windows are now aligned. Hey, Caitlin and Amelia and Char, how are you? Welcome. And Dot, how are you doing tonight? I don't know why I said that in such a formal manner. How are you doing tonight? That sounds stiff and formal. I don't usually talk that way. Jida, Allie, Worms, how are you? How's it going? How's everybody doing tonight? So those just joining, I'm Seth Hilary Jackson. I'm here to share some original songs with you. Bella, oh Betty, you're welcome from my posts. Definitely Not Gianna is here. If you're definitely not Gianna, who are you definitely? Taylor is here. Will, a good name. I think a good name is a good name. By definition, really. S Money, how are you? Kaylin, how are you? Delaney, hi. How are you doing tonight? Def Not Gianna. Glitched, how are you? So how's everybody doing tonight? I hope you're in the mood for some music and some good vibes, because that's what I'm here for. I'm going to share some original songs with you. Katie and Swaggy, how are you tonight? Jackson, Marissa, how you doing? So I'm going to be doing some original songs. I haven't even decided what to start with yet. You know what? Maybe I should just do something a little different and start with this song. Because usually, I know, it always seems like a good idea to start with a love song. But we don't have to start with love songs, do we? Thank you, Mui, for liking the live. And everybody, if you're enjoying the live, please don't forget to like, share, and hit the follow button. Okay, so I'm going to start off with something a little darker. Oh, thank you for the follow, Jackson. How are you? Thank you so much. Okay, so we're going to start off with something a little on the darker side. I never met my grandpa on my mother's side. He abandoned her when she was only 5. My parents treated marriage like a civil war. I feel as if I'm broken at the core. No matter what you see in me today, knowing where I came from, I'm afraid you're throwing good love after bad blood. You don't need this kind of pain. You're throwing good love after bad blood. Got heartache flowing in my veins. Thank you for the follow, Charlotte. There's nothing in this world like waking in your arms. fight or flight response. In my clan, feelings matter not at all. It's second nature for me to build walls. Talking about the future makes me scared. I'm only telling you because I care. You're throwing good love after bad blood. You don't need this kind of pain. You're throwing good love after bad blood. Got heartache flowing through my veins. If I could change, you'd be worth changing for. I wanna try, but you gotta be warned. You're throwing good love after bad blood. You don't need this kind of pain. You're throwing good love after bad blood. Got heartache flowing through my veins. You're throwing good love after bad blood. Got heartache flowing through my veins. Gem, Falcon, Sophia, how are you? Thank you so much for the nice comment, which will become pinned. I know it's just, yeah, Secret Society, how are you tonight? Good to see you this evening on a Sunday evening, and thank you everybody who's tapping your screen and liking and sharing. Thank you, John, you too. So we started off with something a little darker than we usually start off with. So let's kind of go to the opposite end of the spectrum. Why don't we? And do something, I don't know, not really silly. Silly is the wrong word, but fun. Oh, hey, John and Onyx. Hey, how are you tonight? Onyx, the great Onyx is here. Not just the good Onyx, but the great Onyx. Well, does the person have to still be alive? Of course, it would be a member of the Grateful Dead. Any one of them would be fine. I don't care. So let's do something. Oh, Ryan, thank you for the follow. And if you're enjoying, please do follow. So I'm going to do a little sing-along. This song actually started out as a songwriting exercise for a class that I ended up dropping. But it's fun. I like the song. It's actually a celebration of songs and songwriting. And it's fun, and it's a sing-along. So feel free to join in from the privacy of your own home. I want to write a song for no reason in particular. Don't want to make it long. I'd rather keep it simpler. So here it is. Sing it with me. 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 You know I feel good. Feeling real good. So sing it with me. Sing it with me. Sing it with me. song doesn't need a reason. It's just a little rhyme. It doesn't need a deeper meaning if it's a good time. So sing it with me, sing it with me, sing it with me, right, Megs? Sing it with me, sing it with me, sing it with me. You know I feel good, feeling real good. So sing it with me, sing it with me, sing it with me. Ba-da-ba-dum-bum, ba-da-ba-dum-bum-bum, ba-da-ba-dum-bum, ba-da-ba-dum-bum-bum, ba-dum, ba-da-ba-dum-bum, ba-da-ba-dum-bum-bum, ba-da-ba-dum-bum, ba-da-ba-dum-bum-bum, ba-dum. Yes, carry on the melody. Let's do that. Let's carry on the melody. So what should we do next on the agenda? For those just joining, I'm Seth Hilary Jackson. I'm doing original songs. Thank you so much, Tiffany and Onyx. And thank you for the follow, Ryan. Oh, I said that already. Did I say that already? Well, I'm saying it again. And Megs is here, so we are ready to go. That's right. Ba-da-ba-dum-bum. Fire away. Tiffany has a question for me. No, there's actually no story behind the guitar strap. I just kind of got it from a music store because I needed a guitar strap. And sure, ask a question. Please ask a question. So, let's see. What should we do next? Tiffany has a question. Oh my goodness. I don't know how to answer that. I actually, there was a time people were making fun of my singing, actually. I had people making fun of my singing. I took a total of 2 voice lessons. I think those voice lessons helped a lot, but actually I found a tape of me performing at the Bluebird Cafe like in 1990. And I thought, wow. I sounded better than I thought I did. I heard this tape from 30 years ago. So I don't know. I don't know if anybody knows the Bluebird Cafe in Nashville. It's famous. Sliding blues. I don't play slide guitar. Parker, how are you? So, we haven't done a love song yet. I guess we should do a love song, shouldn't we? Well, thank you so much. Oh, one new message. Why did that not scroll? Dumb and Dumber. I thought about that. We have a request. Of course, that's not a love song. It's definitely not a love song. But sure. Dumb and Dumber is always fun. Tiffany, you know Dumb and Dumber? I don't know. All right, Dumb and Dumber. Usually wait till somebody says, you look like Jim Carrey, because somebody always says that on one of these streams. So I usually wait for that, but when it comes to my art, I always use my head. I don't get involved, because I know how insane love gets. I read the book about Venus and Mars with my feet firmly on Earth. But I fell for her and blew it real bad and messed it up worse. It was Dumb and Dumber, a double-barrel bummer, a 1-2 punch to the heart. It was Dumb and Dumber, I really did a number when I tried to be so smart. With all my horse sense and intelligence, I sure did catch on slow. It was dumb to let myself fall in love, and even dumber to let her go. She's a homecoming queen, July. One look at her and I was stark raving out of my mind. We lit a flame till my brain stepped in and said, get a grip on yourself. Now I gotta see you holding hands with somebody else. It was Dumb and Dumber, a double barrel bummer, a 1-2 punch to the heart. It was Dumb and Dumber, I really did a number when I tried to be so smart. With all my horse sense and intelligence, I sure did catch on slow. It was dumb to let myself fall in love, and even dumber to let her go. I used logic, I take calculated risks, but I didn't count on wanting her like this. It was Dumb and Dumber, a double barrel bummer, a 1-2 punch to the heart. It was Dumb and Dumber, I really did a number when I tried to be so smart. With all my horse sense and intelligence, oh man, did I catch on slow. It was dumb to let myself fall in love, and even dumber to let her go. It was dumb to let myself fall in love, and even dumber to let her go. I'm so glad you like the song, Tiffany. By the way, if you like my music, what does that sound? What is that sound? Stop, children. What's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. But if you like that song, you can actually hear it and download it even from my website, SethHilaryJackson.com. And you can stream it, of course, on Spotify. I'm thinking of taking my songs off of Spotify, actually. But so there's a link in my profile. It either says website or it says Linktree, depending on where you are. And that takes you to all my other links. So go there. SethHilaryJackson.com. But the links in my profile, it says if you're on the platform starting with Y, it should say Linktree. But on other platforms, it might say website. But either way, it takes you to all my links. And by the way, I do have artist merch on my website also. I should mention. I got a little self-promote here, you know. But, you know, my artist merch, I have, you know, some album cover art. And I also have songs that, like merch that was inspired by some of my actual lyrics. And I'm going to play one of those songs now. Okay, one of these, what happened here? Oh, there it is. So there's a line from this song that I put on t-shirts and mouse pads and other items. And this song means a lot to me. When people ask me, well, because it costs money to you have to pay to keep the songs up there, and I get nothing back from them. You have to get a minimum of 1,000 streams per song per month before they even pay you anything. And then when they do pay you, it's like 0.00004 cents per stream. It's like 1 million streams would be $4,000 would be 1 million streams. So it's like, you know, they rip artists off. And thank you for sharing. Thank you, Jalen. And please, if you're enjoying my live, don't forget to share, follow, and keep tapping. So I'm going to do this song anyway. As I said, there's a line from this song that I've turned into artist merch. Child's birthday's a party with their friends. I'll let you guess the line. Mine feels like a countdown to the end. I look back on the distance I have come. Mallory, there are doors I still want to open up. My body's past its ticking till the day it's not. While I'm kicking, I'll give it all I've got. My plans maybe aren't meant to be, but a ray of hope is just enough for me. My body's past its prime, but mostly working fine, and I've still got time to hunt treasure. It's easy to believe that I'm too old to dream, but I'm young enough to know better. When all is done and I'm laid to rest, I'll be at peace if I've done my best. I'm on a quest. My body's past its prime, but mostly working fine, and I've still got time to hunt treasure. It's easy to believe that I'm too old to dream, but I'm young enough to know better. It's easy to believe that I'm too old to dream, but I'm young enough to know better. I'm young enough to know better. I'm young enough to know better. Thank you, Mallory, for the heart me. So also, if I do take my songs down from Spotify, I'll still have them up on my website. So they will be there. Thank you so much, Mallory. I love woo. I gotta pin the woo. I wish I could pin platform songs on the other platforms. I can only pin them on the one platform because of the way the streaming software works. Maybe this should be a little brighter. Should I make this a little brighter? Oh no, I just made it less bright. Oh, you know what? Maybe I can increase the brightness this way. Let's see. Image. Where's the brightness adjustment? I don't see a brightness adjustment. There's a contrast adjustment, but not a brightness adjustment. So I can make it brighter this way. Is that better? No, that's not good. Okay. So, yeah, it's on there too. It's on all the streaming platforms. But if I take it down from one, it'll come down from all the others. Oh, thank you literally for the tiny tiny. And how many roses? 10 roses. Thank you so much. Oh, wait, what happened? Oh, I got my windows. So, oh, wait a second. I'm okay. There's nobody there. I gotta keep an eye on 3 different windows for comments. And thank you, Mallory, for liking the live. And everybody, if you're enjoying the live, please don't forget to like, share, and follow me if you're not following me already, or subscribe, depending on what platform you're on. Okay. So what should we do next? I haven't done my new single yet. I have not yet done my latest single, which is always a good idea because it is my latest single. Should I do my latest single? This is a, oh, Debian, thank you for subscribing. And Play DS, thank you for subscribing. Hope you're still there. So this is a message song. I've written a whole bunch of songs on this very topic. I follow politics. I'm kind of I guess you could say, a politics junkie. And the thing that's bothering me the most is how our country, I'm in the U.S., is so divided. And the reason it's so divided is because of the media, actually. Well, the parties themselves, especially one party keeps telling everybody that the other party hates America and is trying to destroy it, which is so silly. But, there are facts and there are alternative facts. Oh, thank you, Literal, for, what does it say? Oh, thank you, Mallory, for the paper crane. That contributes to the live goal, as you know. So, yeah, there's this competition going on. I get some points for paper cranes and also summer glass. I get points for those in this competition. So anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, so I've been writing all these songs about the misinformation going on. But one other thing is, everybody, we can't even agree on what's true. But one thing, everybody is so absolutely sure that they're right. And if you bring something up, one side will say, "No, you're brainwashed," and the other side will go, "No, you're brainwashed. No, you're brainwashed. No, you're brainwashed." So I wrote this song. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. I need my security blanket in case I forget where I am. I gotta have a security blanket because okay. They said it, you heard it on cable news. You read it somewhere in a social media post. You saw it recorded in a YouTube video, repeated again by your favorite podcast host. The way I heard the story is much different. I wonder, since we both have strong opinions, how do we know we're right? How do we know what's true? How do we know who's shooting straight? Who's lying to who? How do we know what's real? How do we know what's fake? How do we know who's fooling us when so much is at stake? How we both made certain to verify the facts and really look into how credible is the source? And have we considered who profits from the hate and division of the information war? Anyone can fall for the deception. I'm asking you and me the same questions. How do we know we're right? How do we know what's true? How do we know who's shooting straight and who's lying to who? How do we know what's real? How do we know what's fake? How do we know who's using us when so much is at stake? How often do we listen to the other side? If evidence were given, would we change our minds? How do we know we're right? How do we know what's true? How do we know who's shooting straight and who's lying to who? How do we know what's real? How do we know what's fake? How do we know who we can trust when so much is at stake? How do we know who we can trust when so much is at stake? So much is at stake. So much is at stake. Thank you, literally, for sharing the live. What does that sound? What does that sound? Oh, happy birthday. Happy birthday to, I'm sorry, my eyes are blurry. Emrican Polat? I'm not sure how to pronounce the name. Emrican? Well, anyway. Anyway, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear whoever's birthday it is today. Happy birthday to you. Yay! So, and today's Father's Day. Happy Father's Day. I didn't even get anything from my kids today. They didn't. They usually almost, this is the first year. I can't believe it. Every year, maybe they did, maybe I haven't gotten it yet. It'll come in the mail. But they always make me a Father's Day card. You know, handmade, or well, I guess they use computers now, but they piece together, you know, they come up with funny things. I really like it. It's really creative, but I didn't get it this year. I'm gonna cry. And my wife's out of town right now, so I'm all alone on Father's Day. So, but I'm with you. So this is, I'm not all alone. I have all of you. Right, Joe? For those just joining, I'm Seth Hilary Jackson. I'm sharing original songs. You know what? I was trying an experiment tonight. You notice the background it's not completely black. That's the problem. See, in the last fall, I was broadcasting like this, and I had this old webcam, and the background was completely black, but I guess you can see a little stuff there. But then I got this I was told to get a pole light. But I don't know, last summer and last fall, I'd be doing these shows, and there'd be 200 people in the audience, like at a time, and I'd be getting hundreds of new followers each live. And then that kind of started drying up, and this year it's been, I had a couple of lives, like a month ago I had a couple where there were 900 people. But for the most part, it's just been a handful, and I'm so glad you're here. But, like any musician, I want to have a bigger audience, so I'm just trying to recreate what I was doing. I don't know, what was I doing different last year that I was getting, and I don't think it's the algorithm either, because they show you something called the tap-through rate. And the tap-through rate has dropped by a lot. But every once in a while, suddenly the tap-through rate goes up, and I don't know why. So I thought, okay, let me try the black background again. But since that doesn't seem to be making a difference, I'm going to turn on the cool light. There's the light. Okay, and let's, we can also adjust the setting. Oh, that's too much. There. Is that better? Does that look better? So, what should we do next? Oh, I still haven't done a love song yet. I can't believe I've gone this far into the live. Oh, but wait a second. So that song always reminds me of this other song, because there's a line in the song I just did. It says, have we considered, this is a really important line, have we considered who profits from the hate and division of the information war? Well, I wrote a song about that. Who profits from this? Well, there's one way to find out. Turn on the news, there's endless raging and whining about groomers, elites, and radical thugs coming after us. Somebody's trying real hard to keep us divided, as the haters keep searching for things to make sound scandalous. It's easy to get swept up in this culture war, till you see who the outrage machine is really working for. There's a trail to the boss's door. Follow the money. Who gives and gets what? Gotta watch the flow of the funding, top down and back up. The fat cats and their flunkies are also power hungry. Who pulls the levers as ever? Follow the money. Owners of private jets get richer and richer, as the fountain of fear's favorite party cuts their taxes. Their 5-minute roads made it legal to bribe politicians, 'cause that's really all a super PAC is. It's pay to play like their corporate donors want it. You and me take a backseat to their profits. Follow the money. Gives and gets what? God So they get us mad and they keep us scared, 'cause they sure don't want us to follow the money. Who gives and gets what? Gotta watch the flow of the funding, top down and back up. The fat cats and their flunkies are also power hungry. Who pulls the lever? As ever, follow the money. Who pulls the levers? Go get her. Follow the money. Well, you know what? I just realized I forgot to turn on my sound effects. You know, there's this whole checklist of things that I'm supposed to do before I go live, and I wrote a checklist down. Oh, thank you, Tiffany and Emrican. I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce your name, but thank you. So I hope that sounds better now. Wait a second. Have you even been able to hear me? How have you been listening? Does this sound better now? You know, I had the volume down. I don't know how you've been hearing me. Is this better or worse? There. It's better or worse? Worse now? Oh, better now. I don't know how you were even hearing me before, because I had to. Thank you so much, Emrican. I don't know how you were even hearing me before, because I had the volume all the way down. So, well, I hope this makes a difference. So, oh, you know what? We haven't done the love song, and I had the capo on. So there's this one song that uses the capo in this position. And it is a love song. You know, this song, I managed to get a meeting with an A&R person at Warner Brothers Records, Nashville. And it's funny, they say when you get these meetings, play no more than 3 songs. You know, if you just play one song, that's even better. But I knew this person because I used to, when they used to be a publisher, and I guess they were interested in me as a publisher. And then they got promoted to A&R, so that I hadn't seen them in years. So they said, play as many songs you want, play every song you got. So, and when you have these A&R meetings, you know, you got to expect that they're going to pass on everything, because it's so rare that they hear so many songs, and they're, you know. So I played a bunch of songs, and then I played this one, and she said, okay, I'm going to take the copy of that. So then I'm like, okay, we're done. So this was like 7 or 8 years ago, and they're still there. The person's still there. So who knows? This could still someday come out on Warner Records from a major artist. It's still possible that a major artist could record this song, because the A&R person from Warner has a copy of it. And she's also says, like, she never forgets a song. So it's there somewhere in the back of her mind. And it goes like this. Every night before I go to sleep, after thanking God for you and me, I pray to Him my soul to keep, just in case I don't make it through. I'll never know when it's my time, till I'm at the finish line. There won't be much I leave behind, and that's fine as long as you remember me when I've moved beyond this world. Your thoughts can be my mark upon this earth. You won't find me in the history books, I've got much higher hopes. Remember me as the one who loved you most. I haven't ushered in world peace. I have probably never cured disease. All I've done is try to be the one you build your world around. 'Cause girl, I know that loving you is what the good Lord put me here to do. And if I needed to for you, I would lay my own life down. So remember me when I move beyond this world. Your thoughts can be my mark upon this earth. You won't find me in the history books. I've got much higher hopes. Remember me as the one who loved you most. If I can keep you warm and safe, put a smile on your face, walk through the years hand in hand, and when I'm dead and gone, write it on my stone, here lies a happy man. Remember me when I move beyond this world. Your thoughts can be my mark upon this earth. You won't find me in the history books. I've got much higher hopes. Remember me as the one who loved you most. Remember me as the one who loved you most. Thank you so much, Mallory, for sharing the live. And everybody, if you're enjoying my live, please don't forget to like, share, and hit the follow button. Wilma, welcome. And those just joining, I'm Seth Hilary Jackson. I'm sharing original songs with you. Why not? Because the strings are broken. Oh. Okay, so we did a love song for the evening. Maybe we should do another one. Another love song? Okay, Mallory wants a love song, so we're gonna do one. So this is one. This is a celebrate. This is a true. It's not really a story song. You know, there's certain songs that are a story song where, you know, he went here and she went there and they did this and they did this. That's, you know, that's called a story song. But so this isn't really a story song, but it is a true story anyway. And it's a celebration of a relationship that began under very unlikely circumstances, survived some trials and tribulations, and still remains years and years and years and decades later. Thank you, Mallory. Oh, I'm going to pin that. So, here we go. I really like singing this song too. Even though we came from such different worlds, at that one single time and place on earth, there we were. Now somehow, when so many years have flown, look around at this place that we call home. Here we are, day after day after day, page after calendar page. Nothing could stand in our way. We're joined at the heart. We could have drifted apart anywhere under the stars, but of all places we both could be, here we are. Through those times when it all seemed way too much, and it seemed like both of us had enough, still here we are. Cry or laugh at the things we did back then, still it all comes down to this in the end. Here we are, day after day after day, page after calendar page. Nothing could stand in our way. We're joined at the heart. We could have drifted apart anywhere under the stars, but of all places we both could be, here we are. Day after day after day, page after calendar page. Nothing could stand in our way. We're joined at the heart. We could have drifted apart anywhere under the stars, but of all places we both could be, here we are. Here we are. Of all places we both could be, here we are. Thank you, Ava, for the tiny. I appreciate you. I appreciate the love. Oh, and Mallory, another paper crane. Thank you so much. You're so awesome. I really appreciate the love. Thank you so much. And the contribution towards the live goal. Monica, how are you? And literally, thank you for sharing the live. And if everybody's enjoying the live, please don't forget to like, share, and hit the follow button if you haven't already done so. Thank you, Mallory. I'm so glad you like it. You know, as a songwriting thing, oh, I'm so glad I was able to make your birthday happier. Good night, everybody. Reba, how are you tonight? I just did the song Remember. I just played a song called Remember Me. Not funny about that. I'm so glad you're here. I'm okay. How are you, Caden? Oh, Ava, thank you for 5 more roses. Thank you so much. So yeah, that song, you know, I thought of that title, Here We Are. And at first I thought, you know, I really like that. You know, it's an expression, well, here we are. But I meant it as actually, here we are. You know, it was kind of like I was, you know, my wife and I, we met, we raised a family. Our kids grew up. They went to college. They graduated. They're all out on their own. And I was just sitting around thinking about that. And I'm like, and, you know, we got this place we share. And it's like, after all that, here we are. And at first I had it as like, I really love that title. And it was like, is that as good a title as I think it is? And I couldn't get over it. So I thought, okay, I got to write this. And then I had a hard time writing it. And I wrote a song. I wrote a lyric. And I thought, yeah, this is really good. And then I went to bed and I got to write the music tomorrow. And then I went to bed and I got up and I pulled out the lyric and I'm like, oh God, this sucks. It's so bad. So I started over again. And it wasn't until I finally figured out the opening line. You know, we came from such different worlds, because we did. You know, we're from different countries, and we met. We were both thousands of miles from our respective homes. So once I got the opening line, the rest of it came. But then also, so I got 2 verses. Well, you could consider it 4 verses, but we'll call it 2 verses. So you got verse, chorus, verse, chorus. So the typical thing you would do in songwriting is write what they call a bridge, which is a section where the melody changes and you kind of take a different point of view from the lyric. And I thought, first of all, I feel like I've said everything. You know, what am I going to say in a bridge that I haven't said already? But I just feel like I don't want to sing something different. I'm on a roll with this chorus. I just want to sing the chorus again. So that's how I ended up writing the song. For those of you who care about stories behind songs, that's kind of the story behind the song. So I got kind of another song about that's sort of about the same thing, but only different. It overlaps, I should say. So this is the story of my adult life, basically, from the time I decided I couldn't take the corporate world anymore, and I had to go to. I was on the East Coast, and I thought, I just can't take this. So I decided to go to California to follow my dreams. So I packed everything I owned. I sold it off and packed the rest in my car. Drove across the country, and I still remember driving on the interstate, Route 10, into California in the desert. There's that sign. Welcome. You know, I was driving for 4.5 days. And finally, I see, welcome to California. And I'm like, I'm there, but it was still another couple of hours before I got to LA. But anyway, one of the first things that happened is I met my wife. And, you know, we raised a family. I had all these near misses in the music business, but we raised a family and our kids grew up. They got accepted to colleges back east. And then we thought, all right, let's go. Let's go back. So we sold everything and we packed the car up with the rest and we're driving the other way. And as I crossed the California line out of California, and we were in a northern route this time, different route, but we were into Nevada, and welcome to Nevada. I'm like, I was there almost 30 years, and it's almost like it never happened. So I literally wrote this song in my head while I was driving, and I had to keep saying it again and again so I wouldn't forget it until I had a chance to pull over and write it down. But anyway, I still can't see that welcome. Oh, wait a second. I didn't pin this comment. I got to pin that comment. Okay. All right, now I'll start over again. I still can't see that welcome sign in the desert on I-10. The maze of streets that greeted me when I arrived back then. I was gonna make it big when I first hit LA. Now I'm an older nobody driving back the other way. People came and disappeared like I imagined all those years. There is no California, no sunny skies to warm ya, no starry-eyed dreams come true like I went there for. It must have once existed, somehow I must have missed it, but there is no California anymore. Was barely there a week first time I looked into your eyes. Through every dead-end street I hit, you stood there by my side. All the no's and maybes, all the big shot bull spit talk. Yes, we've got a deal, and then they don't return my calls. Facing east behind the wheel. Please don't blame me if I feel there is no California, no sunny sky. California. No sunny skies to warm ya. No starry-eyed dreams come true like I went there for. It must have once existed. Somehow I must have missed it. But there is no California anymore. No, there is no California anymore. No, there is no California anymore. So, let's see. Let's see now. I don't know how many more songs. As you know, as you may know, as some of you definitely know. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Rick. You are at the live of Seth Hilary Jackson, and I'm sharing original songs with you, and I'm so glad you're here. But I don't know how many more songs I can do tonight because, as you know, well, some of you know, I have long COVID, which manifests as chronic fatigue. Oh, thank you so much. I do not care. Oh, you're talking to Reba, not me. Oh, and here I thought you were talking to me. So, I don't know how many more songs I'm going to be able to do. Maybe one more? One more? Oh, you know, we're coming up on an hour. And supposedly there's this magical boost in the algorithm at 1 hour. So I should, well, you guys are, thank you so much, Rick. And I do have a song about that, but I'm not going to play that right at this moment. What should we do? What should we do? Oh, you know what? I've been working on recording a song. And I'm going to play that. And I have a single coming out next Friday, and I haven't played that yet. Which should I play? The single coming out next Friday, or the one Oh, I know Mallory has requested this song before, so I guess I should play the upcoming single. Even though you haven't asked for it tonight, but I know you have asked for it in the past. So this is coming out next Friday. Why does it say one new? Yeah, that's the one. Now you've requested it. So now I can officially go ahead and play it. So this is coming out next Friday. I check my social media, scroll through the latest news as I create amnesia of the job I need to do. It's been like this for me all day. My nerves are off the charts. I need to find the words to say, and I don't know where to start. So here I sit at my desk, big blank slate in my head, trying to get at it, trying not to panic, stuck inside this place I hate, wishing I could escape, 'cause I don't want to face the fear of an empty page. Think that with my history I'd have a little trust, my own creativity. It feels feels like boom or bust. The problem is I'm making this about my self-esteem, when I need to be taking this into the world of dreams. So here I sit at my desk, big blank slate in my head, trying to get at it, trying not to panic, stuck inside this place I hate. Just one way to escape, gonna force myself to face the fear of an empty page. I get my fingers moving, just one line, I'm suddenly producing, and I'm fine, emerging from this place I hate, making one more great escape. All I had to do was face the fear of an empty page. All I had to do was face the fear of an empty page. Thank you so much. Now I really want to do this other song that I was about to play. I don't know, I'm starting to feel fatigue though, and I shouldn't play after I get the fatigue. I really wish I could just put on the "Be Back Soon" screen. It's gonna actually, no, it's not acoustic. It's actually like rock with heavy distorted electric guitars on it. Although there is an acoustic guitar playing in the background, but yeah. And that's what makes it also hard for me to, I don't know what my genre is. So when I'm performing, I'm on here on acoustic guitar. But if you hear my songs, go to my website, SethHilaryJackson.com, or go to Spotify. But, better, my website, you can actually download my songs as well as just stream them. But you'll see, well, that song's not out yet. But I do have other songs with some distorted guitars. And then I have songs that are really mellow, and I have songs that are sort of country. I have some that are straight ahead country, and I have some that are, I don't even know what, I feed them into this AI thing to tell me what genre they are. And it says folk and country. I'm like, but this doesn't sound like anything you'd hear on country radio. So it's not like, I don't know what genre it is. It's classic rock or soft rock, or it's, I don't know. Somebody told me soft indie. I never heard of that before. But then I went to Spotify and listened to soft indie, and I'm like, yeah, I guess one or two of my songs sound like this. Some of them, I guess, would be psychedelic rock or classic rock, or, I have a couple of songs people say, oh, that sounds like Pink Floyd. I'm like, oh, thank you. I got another, oh, that sounds like Tom Petty. Oh, thank you so much. But, this one doesn't sound like any of those. We're almost up to 10,000 likes. Everybody, let's get to 10,000. Friday. So I've been doing this, by the way, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays, 9 o'clock New York time, and I usually do songs for about an hour, as long as I can. Sometimes I don't make it an hour, sometimes I go over. Oh, Friday. Yeah, Friday is the day where it comes out. Now I get it. Yeah, Friday the song's coming out, and it'll be on my website, SethHilaryJackson.com, and also all the streaming platforms. Yay, we got to 10K. But, again, no, I shouldn't say anything. But I still want to get back to where we were last summer and fall, when there were hundreds of people in the room at a time, and we were getting 20 to 60,000 likes and 100 new followers each time. And I don't know what's different now than it was back in November. I know, I'm so glad you're all here. Not to say, I don't want to sound like, I'm really glad you're here. This is totally worth playing for whoever's here. I totally am here for you all, and I'm having a great time, and I'm so glad you're here, and I'm enjoying sharing my music. But, like any musician, I want to grow my following and my audience. I hope that's understandable. My dream is, I know I've been doing this forever, and all I've wanted, I wanted to have a hit song. I still want to have a hit song, but I don't know if I'll ever have a hit song. But, I would love to be able to make a living from my music. That would be totally awesome, even at my age. That's still my dream. My other dream is just to, I am a small. I'm not that I really am asking a lot, but all I want to do is change the world with my music. That's all. And actually, on a serious note, if I could just make the world even a little bit better in a tiny way, if I could just affect one person and make their life just a little bit better, then I've done my job. And so when all of you tell me that I'm making you happy, or you feel good, or you're enjoying my music, that means so much to me, because that means I've done my job. Who's back? Let me guess. Wait. Let me guess. Don't tell me. I'm literally trying to guess. Who's back? Oh, God. I give up. Just kidding. I'm such a goofball, I know, aren't I? I met Tom Petty, actually. Oh, that's cool. I met Tom Petty at an industry event. So I don't know if it counts. I met him. I said hello. There were a bunch of people waiting to talk to him. So I had my turn. I shook his hand, said hello. We exchanged sentences. I'm not even sure he said anything to me except for, "Oh, I'm so glad to hear that." Or, I don't know what he said. But, he gave a talk. And actually, he was such a great guy. I really liked him a lot. And I saw him twice because he did a tour in 1986 with the Grateful Dead. And they were playing these stadium shows, and it was the summertime. And they took turns opening for each other. And I saw 2 of the concerts. And it was a long concert because both bands played for 3 hours. Well, the Dead usually played for longer than 3 hours. But that summer, I guess I saw. Yeah, I guess I just saw 2 shows that were back to back, 2 nights in a row. And actually, both nights, Tom Petty opened. They all tour they've been switching back and forth. But these last 2 concerts, so Tom Petty opened the first night, and the scheduled was that the Grateful Dead opened the second night, but it was really hot out. And Jerry Garcia was in bad, his health he was having problems. So they decided Tom Petty would open both nights because he'd play in the heat, and then the Grateful Dead would come on after the sun went down. And that second night, after the concert, Jerry Garcia, who's the lead guitarist and the founder of the Grateful Dead and the leader of the Grateful Dead, collapsed into a coma after the show. So that concert is legendary for being bad because Jerry was in bad shape. Actually, I've listened to it. It's actually not that bad. But it was like one of the shortest concerts they ever did. It was 1986. No, Jerry passed away in 1995, so there were no Grateful Dead concerts in the late 90s. You know, there's this window here that I haven't even... Oh, oh, Mallory, you moved to the other app and I didn't even see... Now I can see it. I couldn't see it before. You know, on this app, that the one that starts with an I. So I have 3 windows I have to keep an eye on. And there are very few comments on the one starting with an I. And sometimes that one doesn't even work. Sometimes if I make a wrong click at the wrong time, that window shuts down for the whole live and I can't get it back. So I have a tendency to not watch that window as much as I watch the other windows. But I've been having a conversation, well, not on the platform with a Y. The vertical platform was starting with the letter T. I've been having these series of posts about the Grateful Dead, and especially about the year 1990 and 1989. But 1990 was a really good year for the Grateful Dead. But the late 90s. And I've actually been, so I listen to the Grateful Dead almost every day. I know I'm starting to get sick of them. I have to take a break every once in a while because, like, come on, I'm listening to the same band every day. It's ridiculous. But sometimes I get sick of them, and then what I do is I just go to a different year because, like, some years sound, well, especially like the early years, there's a pretty big difference from one year to the next in some years. The later years, like, I can't really tell 1989 from 1990. Or 88, I can't. Well, actually, there is like this one. Jerry did get a new guitar like in 1990, so sometimes, oh yeah, that's the new guitar. You can tell. But I'll switch eras, and then it's like, oh, I'm almost listening to, like I'm listening to a different band. But I've been listening to 1990 lately. Ah, a deadhead. I was, you know, I actually like, I don't listen to that one as much. I just listened to I didn't even know this Dark Star existed until last week. Somebody told me, oh, you got to check the Baltimore show from 1990. I'm like, for some reason, because I love the summer 90 tour, but I hadn't listened to all of them. And on the archive, you scroll through them. For some reason, I didn't scroll through that one, but there's a 24-minute Dark Star in this Baltimore show in July of 90. And I just finished listening to that show. I just listened to it today. And it's like, wow, that concert, we were talking about, if you've been seeing the conversation, people talk about what year is the best year and what year is the best year. And, most people agree. Well, not everybody agrees, but, a lot of people think it's the 70s. But I'm like, this concert from 1990, July 1990, this is as good as any concert they ever did. It's just great. There's a 24-minute Dark Star in there, and then they go off into space, and then they rock out. But I like you ever listen to the Miami Dark Star from '89? That's like totally sick. Some guy on the archive wrote a review. He said, I guess he was doing some psychedelics that night, and it hit him the wrong way. They do this really dissonant, it's really abstract and dissonant. And the guy said, in his review, he said, this Dark Star is horrifying. And my friend and I got a laugh over that. So we refer to that as the horrifying Dark Star. Well, I think 91 was pretty good. And after the coma, so Jerry had 2 comas. When he came back in the December of 92 and the first few shows of 93, it's like, wow, they're as good as they've ever been. And then, I don't know, 93 has some moments, but then 94, 95 are just hard to listen to. But I don't know how many people are interested in this. I'm talking about the Grateful Dead. I love the Grateful Dead. I listen to them all the time. I know a lot of people hate them. And I can understand why people hate them, actually. Because they're very, well, for one thing, they're a jam band. They're the original jam band, really. And some of their jams, especially in their prime, some of the jams are really long, and some people find them boring. But the other thing is they're really raw and unpolished. Some people think their vocals are awful, and sometimes they do sound awful, actually. And sometimes their playing even sounds bad. But I don't know, just the overall thing that they do is just like unbelievable. It's so good. So I was mentioning, so in the 89 and 90, maybe even 88, I forget when they started doing this song, there's this like old 50s song called Let the Good Times Roll. And they started playing it, the cover. They started doing this cover of Let the Good Times Roll. And it's just this really laid back, da-da, I don't know what key it's in. Get in the groove and let the good times roll. You know, it's just this really laid back little thing, and it's just kind of this fun, sort of innocuous song in a way. It's like a little ditty. And I loved when they opened with that song. I just made a video of this today. I loved when they opened with that song because, you know, we're going to stay here till we soothe our soul. If it takes all night long. Why it is in the key, G. Get in the groove and let the good times roll. We're going to stay here till we soothe our souls. If it takes all night long. So they would play that. And it would be like this really fun little silly, kind of innocent little song, kind of. But it was like a statement. It was ominous in a way. We're gonna, if it takes all night long, and then they would, you know, by the end of the show, so they start out with this mellow little thing, and by the end of the show, it's just been insane. It just, you have no idea where, you know, just from hearing that, you would have no idea what's in store, you know. But if you'd seen The Dead, you know it's coming. And then they would follow that up. So they would open that, and then they had a way of pairing songs together. So they kind of paired that with this other song called Feel Like a Stranger, which also has a similar message. And it ends with, it's going to be a long, long, crazy, crazy night. So in case you weren't sure after that first song, they want to make sure you know what's coming. But, you know, there are thousands and thousands of hours of recorded live Grateful Dead music. And they have a vault. They started recording their shows like, well, I guess they started in, some of them from 67, but they started really recording most of them like after 1970. Almost all of them are there. Not all of them are in the vault, but most of them are. So they have this vault, but then people would come into the concerts with tape recorders. So there are these recording, and there's a website called archive.org, which like it's an archive of like world history pretty much. There's so many things on archive, but there's a live music archive, and under that there's a Grateful Dead archive. And on the Grateful Dead archive, there are thousands and thousands of hours of live Grateful Dead recordings. And a lot of these concerts, especially the later ones, the same concert, there are like 25 different recordings because, you know, people would bring in their tape recorders, and they, like starting in 1984, the Dead realized, you know, people are bringing in these tape recorders, and we should make a special section. So they started selling these taper tickets, a limited number, and they set up a section that's just for the tapers, because people it started getting obnoxious to the people who weren't taping, and it was a service because people would trade these tapes. But for people who were there to enjoy the concert, people would bring in these big, you know, these booms with these tapes with these microphones on them, and they'd be blocking your view. So they said, let's put all the tapers together right behind the soundboard. So they're all together, nobody's view is being blocked, and this right behind the soundboard's a really great spot for recording. So there are like all these recordings of people who tape these shows. And then there are also people, I don't know how they got these soundboard, but some people were patched into the soundboard. So there are these audience recordings and there are these soundboard recordings. And then some people combine them. They take a soundboard recording and they take an audience recording. And this takes a lot of work, but they would synchronize them together. So there's a blend of the audience and the soundboard recordings. And they call those matrix recordings. So I hope the people who are here who are not deadheads are finding this not boring and somewhat interesting. You know, even when the Dead were not on, well, you know, in the later years, these supposedly bad shows weren't really that bad. Some of the stuff in the earlier days, well, even in the same show, like they released a concert from 1969 a few years back. It was a Dave's Picks, they called it, and it was from somewhere in Los Angeles, and most of it sounds, I feel like, God, that sounds terrible. It just sounds awful. And then suddenly they get to this jam, and all of a sudden it's like, oh my God, this is unbelievably great. This is amazing. So anyway, so I'm Seth Hilary Jackson. I am a songwriter. I've been sharing original songs and telling some stories, and now I'm rambling on about the Grateful Dead. But I do this Mondays, Tuesdays. No, let me try this again. Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays, 9 o'clock New York time. I usually do songs for about an hour. Then I hang out for a while usually. And if I can, I'm also going to be doing some unscheduled lives. I did a couple last week, and those will be shorter. You know, I usually, when I do my scheduled live, I try to stay live for an hour at least. But the unscheduled ones, the goal is 25 minutes because, you know, at least this one platform, the one that starts with the letter T and is vertical, if you're live for 25 minutes, it counts it as a valid live day. And I'm not sure what the benefit is of that, but I want to get credit. I guess they have these league standings and all this stuff. So I guess it counts towards the league standings if you're live for 25 minutes. So everybody, I'm so glad you have been here. I guess I should probably end the live because I'm getting fatigued. I gotta lie down. So thank you all for being here, and I hope I'll see you again. Please visit my website, SethHilaryJackson.com, and there's a link in my profile that takes you there and to all my other links. I also have a Discord server, and you can join through the link. And there's also a support me link, and there's all my streaming platforms, and